If you rope drop Magic Kingdom the wrong way, you could waste the most powerful hour of your entire day. So in this video, we're going to show you exactly how rope drop actually works, how early entry changes the strategy, and specific routes you should use in 2026 to help ensure you stay one step ahead of everyone else in the parks. Welcome aboard. I'm Don B from Eat, Sleep, Disney. Don't forget to stick around as we reveal the biggest rope drop mistakes that ruin most Disney days. Now, if you're completely new to planning a Disney World trip, but you may be asking yourself, what exactly is rope drop? Well, rope drop simply means being inside Magic Kingdom right at official park opening and heading straight to a high demand attraction before the lines build. The name comes from the literal ropes that cast members hold guests behind near the hub. And when the park officially opens, those ropes drop and everyone heads into the lands. But here's where it gets important. There's regular rope drop and then there's early theme park entry. If you're staying at a Disney resort or select partner hotel, you'll get into certain areas of Magic Kingdom 30 minutes before the official opening time. Now it's important to know, unlike some other Disney parks like Hollywood Studios, only certain lands and attractions at Magic Kingdom open for early entry. So this means your strategy is everything. Plus in 2026, we have the reopening of 2 reimagined attractions that will impact the crowds and your plans. But regardless, in this video, we'll give you our insider tips and tricks for those who have early entry, as well as those who don't, and exactly which rides to prioritize so you're not zigzagging across the parks. That way, the rest of your Magic Kingdom day gets a whole lot easier. Now, it's important to note that Magic Kingdom doesn't just open the gates at 9 a.m. and let everyone in. Typically, guests are allowed through security and into Main Street well before the official opening time. The park opens up to 90 minutes before park opening, or about an hour before that early entry. So you can walk down Main Street, grab a coffee, take some photos, but you won't be able to enter any of the lands until the official park opening or early entry. And that's what matters. That first 60 to 90 minutes after guests are released is the most efficient time of the entire day. Ride capacity is high, lines are short, crowds haven't stacked up yet. Now, rope drop isn't necessarily about being first in line at the front gates. It's about knowing the route through the parks to target the rides that will have the longest wait in a couple hours and to save the other rides for later in the morning, which will have minimal wait times. Let's start at Adventureland. This is one of the underrated rope drop moves, especially for those who are staying off property. While most guests search toward Tron, Seven Dwarfs, or Peter Pan, you pivot. That pivot creates opportunity. Adventureland is not open during early entry, so this strategy applies to regular rope drop at official park opening. So this strategy is best for off-property guests, families who want less chaos at 9 a.m., and guests who might not be prioritizing thrill attractions, as well as those who prefer a smoother flow over aggressive headliner strategy. Now, this isn't to say that Adventureland doesn't have some great attractions and that it doesn't put you in a great position to hit some of the other headliner attractions in the back of the park. So Fantasyland and Tomorrowland absorb the early entry surge and the biggest rope drop crowd push. And typically Adventureland ramps up slightly slower. However, Jungle Cruise often has hour-plus waits by mid-morning, and those waits tend to hover there for most of the day. So instead of fighting the largest surge, you eliminate a predictable midday bottleneck first. You head to Jungle Cruise at rope drop, and you might only wait 15 or so minutes, but that's far better than the 60-minute waits it hits by late morning. Then you go directly to the Pirates of the Caribbean. Pirates has strong capacity, but its wait times steadily creep up throughout the morning. For your next move, you're in perfect position to hit Frontierland. You could hit Tiana's Bayou Adventure or Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, which is reopening May of 2026. So by 11 a.m., you've probably hit the big attractions in both Adventureland and in Frontierland. So what do you do next? Well, if you're using a Lightning Lane with this route, your goal is simple. Protect the attractions you won't physically be near until later in the afternoon. Since you started in Adventureland, you're not near Tomorrowland or the back of Fantasyland until much later. So for Lightning Lane, you should prioritize Peter Pan if you want to ride it, Space Mountain, and Buzz Lightyear. Or if you're going to do a Lightning Lane single pass, you could consider purchasing Seven Dwarfs Mine Train ride, but quite honestly, we don't recommend that. You can definitely ride that ride later in the day at a shorter wait time. Given its reopening in April, Buzz Lightyear in particular is likely to see longer than usual waits for the first couple of months. So if you're going in spring or early summer, you might want to consider a Lightning Lane for that ride. Now, if you don't have Lightning Lane, that's perfectly fine. If you're fully standby, your strategy becomes about timing and geography. So instead of chasing headliners across the park, you have 2 smart options. Head towards Frontierland for attractions like the Haunted Mansion, Then skip the high demand Fantasyland attractions for some lower tier ones such as Enchanted Tales with Belle, Mickey's PhilharMagic, or It's a Small World, depending on your preferences. You can also grab an early lunch, or depending on your party, check out some of the meet and greets. Then later in the day, return to the headliners during either parades or normal dinner time or at the very end of the day, which we'll touch on later in this video. Now, if you're already starting to feel a little overwhelmed, we completely understand, which is why we want to make you a special offer. We want to send you a completely free copy of our brand new Ultimate Disney World Planning Guide filled with the step-by-step help to go from booking to park entry. It includes planning checklists, packing guide, and budget worksheet to keep you one step ahead of everyone else in the parks. So scan the QR code on screen or click our exclusive link in the description to download your completely free copy today. If your top priority is knocking out one of the park's biggest thrill rides immediately, then head to Tomorrowland. This Tomorrowland strategy is best for thrill seekers, teens and adults, and groups excited about the Buzz Lightyear reopening. If you have early entry, ride Space Mountain first. Then position near the Tron Light Cycle run before the official opening. Tron does not open for early entry. It only allows queuing, so after Space Mountain, you can probably get there before it officially opens. From there, is it probably 15 minutes or so. If you don't have early entry, be at the Tomorrowland rope. Go straight to Tron at the official opening. You will still probably wait about 30 minutes, but that is much better than 90 minutes later in the day. Now, because Buzz Lightyear reopens in April and will likely have inflated waits for the first couple of months, you could rope drop Buzz instead and get a Lightning Lane single pass for Tron, or Lightning Lane Buzz to ensure you have it, then go to Tron and Space Mountain. With this strategy, you will complete one of your lighting lanes early, allowing you to make another. After that, start moving toward Fantasyland before the surge. You probably won't be able to beat the crowds at Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, but you can hit some other attractions your kids will love. Rides like the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh, the Teacups, or Under the Sea, the Journey of the Little Mermaid, while having shorter wait times. If you don't mind the walk, you can cross the front of the park and head to Adventureland. You can consider getting a Lightning Lane for the Jungle Cruise or hit Pirates of the Caribbean with a moderate wait. Or if you're using Lightning Lane, this also puts you in a pretty good position for a later morning in Frontierland. If you have a Lightning Lane reservation for either Big Thunder Mountain or Tiana's Bayou for later in the morning, you can hit the other attraction with moderate waits and then make reservations for another in-demand attraction for later in the day. If your goal is stacking multiple high-demand rides early without crisscrossing the park, then starting your morning in Fantasyland has the strongest all-around rope drop route, whether you have early entry or not. This strategy is perfect for families with kids, guests prioritizing classic Disney attractions, and early entry guests who can get near the front. Fantasyland contains two of the most consistently high-weight attractions in the park, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and Peter Pan's Flight. They're close together and both build long waits quickly. This makes Fantasyland one of the best efficiency clusters in Magic Kingdom. You can eliminate two major waits without having to walk across the park. If you are near the front of the early entry pack, start with Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. At that point, you'll likely wait around 15 to 25 minutes. Then immediately move to Peter Pan. If you move quickly, you can often be in line for Peter Pan before the official park opening time, which means you're riding your second headliner as general rope drop guests are just entering the lands. Then you're free to move on to your third attraction. Now, if you are further back in the early entry crowd, start with Peter Pan first, then go to the Seven Dwarfs. Peter Pan's capacity is lower, and its wait time inflates quickly once the surge begins. If you can get back to Seven Dwarfs before the official rope drop, you are waiting 30 to 40 minutes, but some of that is before the park officially opens. If you do not have early entry, head straight to Peter Pan at official rope drop. Resort guests have already had 30 minutes inside Fantasyland. Seven Dwarfs will likely already have a moderate line. So your best move is eliminating Peter Pan first, then going to Seven Dwarfs immediately after. Even if you wait 45 minutes for Mine Train, that's far better than the 75 to 100 minutes it hits later in the day. After Seven Dwarfs, stay in Fantasyland and stack lower weight attractions while crowds redistribute. Great third and fourth options. The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, Under the Sea, Journey of the Little Mermaid, Mad Tea Party, Dumbo. If you've moved efficiently, you could be finishing your third ride while much of the park is still entering. Around 11 to 11:30 a.m., wait times in the other lands start creeping up quickly. So once you've completed your Fantasyland stack, this is where Lightning Lane becomes strategic. If you're using Lightning Lane, prioritize Jungle Cruise, Big Thunder Mountain, Buzz Lightyear. Even without Lightning Lanes, now is the time to head toward attractions that have higher ride capacity, load continuously, and are less sensitive to short-term surges. Strong next moves include Pirates of the Caribbean, Big Thunder Mountain, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, It's a Small World, and the Haunted Mansion. By 11 a.m., most of the popular attractions will have hour-plus waits. You've already knocked out some of the more popular rides, so now is the time to shift from eliminate the worst waits to manage steady waits. After your third or fourth ride, consider shows or indoor attractions like Enchanted Tales with Belle, Mickey's PhilharMagic, or some character meet and greets are perfect here during the midday crowds. Grab an early lunch or some snacks. Take a few photos around the park, although avoid Main Street and use some of the spots closer to the castle for better views. Then circle back to higher demand rides during dinner hour or after the fireworks when waits often soften. Rope drop without Lightning Lane is absolutely doable. You just have to front load your biggest wins and manage expectations midday. Now, of course, planning your first Disney trip can be stressful. And besides watching awesome videos from Eat Sleep Disney, perhaps the second easiest way to make the most of your Disney trip is to work with an authorized Disney vacation planner. Now, Heidi and I, we're not travel advisors. That's why we partner with Mousefan Travel. We love working with our personal consultant Blair, who navigates all the options to make sure we get the best available price and take advantage of any promotions or inclusions. Plus, their services are completely free. You're getting free Disney planning advice from experts. So scan the QR code on screen or use our exclusive link in the description to book your next Disney adventure with Mousefan Travel. Now, as promised, here are some insider tips and tricks to ensure you make the most of Rope Drop in Magic Kingdom. First, many guests arrive too late. Rope Drop does not mean arriving at park opening. You need to be through security and positioned before the official opening time. If early entry starts at 8:30, resort transportation typically begins about an hour before that. So around 7:30 a.m. for Magic Kingdom, if you show up at 9 o'clock, you've already lost the advantage. Second, don't stop for castle photos as soon as you enter the park. Main Street is beautiful, but Rope Drop is not the moment for photos. You can take castle pictures at 11:30. You can take them at 2 p.m. You can take them at night, but you can't get that first 30-minute advantage back. Eat early or eat late. Lunch at 11 a.m. or after 1:30 p.m. Dinner before fireworks or well after. You'll save time waiting for food, and time saved on meals is just as valuable as time saved in ride lines. Mobile ordering is one of the most underused time-saving tools in the parks. Instead of standing in line to order food, you can place your order in the app and select a pickup window. Even better, you can schedule your mobile order earlier in the day while you're in line for a ride. That means your meals are already factored into your plan. You're not reacting to hunger. You're operating on schedule. And while plans can change, you can often adjust your pickup window if needed. Having your mealtime reserved keeps you one step ahead of everyone else, and it reduces impulse purchases when you're tired and hungry. Also, don't forget, you can bring your own food and drinks into Magic Kingdom. This saves money, time, and emergency hangry moments. Stopping for quick snacks during peak windows eats into your ride stacking advantage. Take midday breaks, especially in busy seasons and the summer. In peak seasons, the park is hotter, more crowded, and often open later. If you're staying on property, go back to your resort mid-afternoon. Rest, swim, cool off, then return in the evening. You'll feel better, you'll ride more, and you'll avoid peak heat. After fireworks, a surprising number of guests leave. That final hour before park closes can be incredibly productive. And remember, you can get in line for most attractions right up until the official park closing time. If the park closes at 10 p.m. and you enter the queue at 9:59 p.m., you ride. In fact, getting in line right before a park close is one of the Disney World loopholes most guests don't know. But it's not the only one. So click or tap on a Disney World loopholes video right here on YouTube. In that video, we share the insider tips and tricks 90% of guests don't know about. That way, your next Disney World trip will truly be unforgettable.